So 4 months yesterday, Uncharted released in theatres worldwide, and I happened to go there day one to go watch it, and I gave my opinions afterwards. I wasn't very keen on it, but today I just rewatched it, literally just finished watching it, and today I'm going to be telling you what I thought. Do I think it's better than it was when I first watched it, or do I think it's worse than I thought before? Well, this is what this video is about, so let's get started. Hello middies, it's me Zulu here, and today I am going to be doing another rewatch of Uncharted. So 4 months yesterday, as I've just said in the intro, I went to go watch the film with my good friend Rusty. This video is mostly aimed towards him than mostly you guys, because this is a surprise for him. I said to him earlier that I'm going to be putting out a surprise for you, and yeah, just hope he actually likes it. Me and him went to go watch Uncharted day one in the UK, February 11th, even though I said in the intro it came out 4 months yesterday, which was February 18th. February 18th is when it came out in the States, the USA, but it came out a week earlier for us in the UK on February 11th. So we went to go watch it. Before I went to go watch it with him, I watched the playthrough of the games. I'm going to go a bit of a side rant before I continue. So when the official trailer for the film came out, Rusty suggested that I should watch the games because he thought it would be something that I would actually like, because he knows that I like adventure games, story-based games, etc. I don't want to get on too long, but I was like, okay, cool. It looked like a Tomb Raider-ish kind of game. It was inspired by the original Tomb Raider games that came out in the 90s, I believe. And then they made Uncharted, and then Square Enix's Tomb Raider was inspired by Uncharted. Which is kind of weird, isn't it? Because it's kind of like on each other. Anyway, so after watching the film, I did a initial reaction, and I did a little review with Rusty, and then I did a spoiler review when I got back home after watching it. So just for people that haven't watched that review video, I'm gonna kind of catch you up a little bit, catch on with you guys a little bit. I wasn't very keen on the film when I went after watching it. I mean, it wasn't all bad, but there was definitely stuff that I wish that was improved. I'm not going to go in full detail of what I thought before rewatching it. Sorry. If you want to know more details on my previous thoughts when I went to go first watch it, I'll leave a link in the description below the spoiler review that I did when it first came out. So yeah, go watch that if you want to know more details on my my previous thoughts. So the question is, upon rewatch, do I think it's better than when I first watched it, or do I think it's worse than when I first watched it? Sorry. To be honest with you, I think it's better than when I first watched it, because when I first watched it quickly, I was mostly heavily leaning towards the games. I mean, obviously it's based off the games, obviously, Jesus. Mostly off the fourth game because of Nate's brother, Sam. And it just feels a bit more... I mean, there are some, like, elements towards other games, but it's mostly feels more of a fourth game. Mostly to me because of Sam, because obviously Sam's only in the fourth game because they, don't know why they, wanted to bring in a brother, but, that's mostly why, to me, I think it's more feeling like a fourth game. It's mostly leaning towards the brother story, and, it's that. Because that's what mostly this film's about. It's basically... I'm not going to talk about the story. It's more about what I thought, really. Anyway, so... yeah, I wasn't a fan when I first watched it because I was mostly heavily um, kind of thinking about the games than trying to see what it would do by itself, if that makes sense. Like making it's kind of its own, which is what this film is mostly doing, except obviously is giving elements from the games. Of course, Sam is not completely different at all, but the feel, obviously, it's a film, it's not a game, it's a film, so it's gonna obviously feel a bit different in some way. But when I first watched it, I don't know what I was thinking really, but upon rewatch, I thought it was great. Do I think it's amazing? No, but I'm kind of on the same lines as what Rusty says. I don't know at the moment what his thoughts are on the film now. I don't know if he's rewatched it since. I even asked him. I should have really asked him before doing this, but this is a surprise for him. So, um, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say I'm kind of on board of what he said in his initial reaction and shortest review in that video. Go check it out if you haven't watched it, like I just said earlier. If you want to know more about it, go watch it. Links in the description. He said it was good for what it was, I think. I may be wrong, I haven't watched it in like weeks, but he said, I'm pretty sure he said that it's, for what it is, it's good. He thought it was good. Was it amazing? No. His rating was like, I think it was it 4 stars, I think? And it was 7 out of 10, and I said 6. He was like, 6? What? 6 out of 10.
Oh, shit, what is wrong with you?
I was just like, it's just 1 point down. It's not like it's a fucking 2 or something, but yeah, I'm if I had to put a rating for it, I'd probably give it, I think I'd give it a 3, I'm pretty sure, on my personal Instagram. What did I say in the review with him? I think I said 3. What did I say out of 10? I think I said I said 6 out of 10, and it was a 3. So I'd probably say a 7. I think it's a little bit better. It's not hugely improved. It's not immensely better than when I first watched it, but I do think it is better than what I thought, because there's some things in the film that I was like, ooh, that I didn't, that the things that I didn't notice when I watched it now, and that I didn't when I first watched it in the cinema, because obviously it's, you do notice everything in the cinema, do you? It's just, One of the main things that I've noticed upon rewatch is the themes playing during the film, like, because most of the music isn't actually from Uncharted in this film. Like the end like the credits, it's just shitty current trends pop music. Whereas in some parts of the film, like when this is gonna be spoilers, by the way. If you haven't watched the film, then what the fuck are you doing here? I'm sorry, I swear, but I mean, come on, why are you watching this if you haven't watched the film? But anyway, so spoiler ahead. So for example, when Nate puts his holster on for the first time on the ship, we're in the final battle of the ships. He puts it on, and then there's a subtle theme of the thing, the dun 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 dun. It's not exactly like that sounding, but it's different. I'm sure they use like different instruments for it, but it still sounded really cool. And also when Nate and Chloe arrive on the beach, when obviously the plane crashes and they fall in the water, and obviously they see the island. They go on to when they go up on shore, the theme goes up, and then obviously that's when Nolan North's cameo comes in, which is also really cool. I mean, I obviously noticed that in the cinema, but yeah, it's just the little touches that the little subtle things that I've only just noticed. It's just so cool. So I overall think it's better than what I thought before. I tried to not think too much on the games and more on its own merits, if that makes sense, and not just worry about seeing, oh, have they got this right from the games? Have they got this right? I I tried to look at it on its own merits instead of just obviously looking at it from a perspective of the games. So yeah, and that's what I did, and I thought it was good, and it was kind of good to think that, because you always want to give a film a chance, even if it's not heavily based off the games, if that makes sense. Whatever I say in this is probably not going to make sense to you guys, but if you do, then I appreciate you. Thank you. Anyway, let's talk about the things that I have grown to appreciate since watching it first, like things that I thought were ugh, and now I think that actually it's not as bad as I thought. And then I'm also going to talk about things that I'm not a fan of still, even from my first watch in the cinema. So let's obviously start off with things that I actually do like now that I didn't say much then. I've kind of grown to like Tom Holland's Nathan Drake a little bit. There were some things that I did like before. I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of it. I did say that it was a bit because it's Tom Holland really, and it's just they cast stars. And I know that Nolan North did say he didn't want to because he thought he was too old to play Nathan Drake, which I think is just baloney. I mean, compare him to Tom Holland. He's like I know Tom Holland is supposed to be a younger Nathan Drake in the film, but I don't know. I guess it would have been really cool to see Nathan Fillion play him, because I've seen before I watched the film. I also watched the fan made film, which is just so good. Anyway, not to sidetrack, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, Tom Holland. This is Tom Holland. Like, whilst I have it in my mind, after watching the film in the cinema, before we recorded our initial reaction, Rusty said to me that he pointed out that there was this bit where Nathan on the car, when out of the cargo plane, obviously he fell and then he landed on the car that Chloe was hiding in. And his pose was like Spider-Man. He was like, "What the fuck is that? Ugh, that's weird." And I was looking. I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this bit. I remember him telling me this." And I was waiting for it on last night when watching it, obviously rewatching it, and it didn't look. I still need to like look on that point, but it didn't seem too much like Spider. I thought it was literally exactly like the Spider-Man pose that he does in like his films, the Spider-Man films. But I do need to go look back on it, but to me, it didn't look too Spider-Man, really. I mean, I see what if it's that bit that I think I know what he means. It's not too Spider-Man, but anyway, I just wanted to say that in case I forgot, but while that was on my mind. But what was I talking about? I was talking about Tom Holland. I've grown to appreciate him a little bit more than before. I like some of the catchphrases he says, like he says in the games. However, there are some catchphrases that he says in the trailers that aren't in the films, and I pointed that out to Rusty, and he said, "Yeah, I noticed that. It's weird." Like, for example, like when he gets hit, like I said about the car, when obviously Chloe comes in, and then as Nate comes on the plane, in the trailer he says, "Oh crap, oh crap," but in the film he says, "Oh come on, come on." And it's like, I don't know about that. That's a bit ill. And then there's something else as well. I think they took out the bit where it's the bit in the trailer near the start of the first trailer, I think, where Sully meets Nate.
Hey kid, a little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
I hope they bring out like, an extended version of the film, or at least some deleted scenes, like when Sully and Nate meet each other. I didn't like that. That's another thing I need to mention, but I don't want to get too sidetracked. Anyway, we're on Nathan Drake. I kind of grown to appreciate Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I do hope he does better in the second one, if that does ever come out, which Sony has said they are going to do, but it's not been officially greenlit by Sony, the studios, I think. I may be wrong, I might be stupid, but Rusty did tell me that Sony said yes, they are hoping to do a second film, but I believe as of now that they haven't greenlit the film yet, but they are hoping to bring it out, which is good, because the mid credits at the end. Anyway, yeah, I do hope Tom Holland does better in the second film. Obviously, I wonder how long it will time jump from the first one to the second one. Might be straight away. Might be like a direct sequel. It might be that, or it might be like a few years later. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought Tom Holland did good as Nate. Like upon rewatch, of course. Now, what other thing do I appreciate? Now, Chloe Fraser. I love her in the games. She's badass. She's awesome. She's hot. Be honest. I mean, come on. Who says she's not hot? In the film, she was okay. I couldn't quite work out if she was British, American, or Australian. Because at first I thought she was Australian because of the twangy accent, because it's that accent. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But Rusty said she's Indian British, which I guess makes sense. Yeah, Chloe is Indian British, apparently. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes... I mean, at times she sounds British, and at other times she sounds... At some point she sounds British, and another time she sounds Australian, which is weird. But I mean, at least I know now what her nationality is actually. The fuck was that? So Chloe was okay, I guess. I mean, I thought she was better than she was upon rewatch than before, but yeah, she was okay. Now, one thing that I am still not a massive fan of is Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sullivan. I love Sully in the games. Yes, he's selfish. He has some respect for Nate and he cares about him, but in the film he feels too much selfish. I know that in the film Sully is younger, like Nate, but obviously younger. Obviously he's older, but you know. So maybe he might feel a bit more selfish. Mark Wahlberg is trying to portray the young Sully that's in Uncharted 3. I think that's all I can try and think. I'd like to see more of the shirt, like the shirt that Victor wears, because mostly he wears either a tank top, like a vest. Well, a tank top is what you say in the States, but yeah. A tank top, or just, you know, I mean, it's not very Sully, but still, I need to stop worrying about that. But yeah, I think Sully in this film, he's okay. I don't have a problem really with Mark Wahlberg. I think it's just a bit of a miscast, to be perfectly honest with you. I wouldn't have minded the actor who, oh god, he's in Avatar, isn't he? Yeah, he's the Colonel in Avatar. The one in the fan-made one who plays Sully. I think he was really good. I'm not sure about if he would play a young Sully good, but I'm not sure he would make it good young Sully. But I mean, I guess I could accept Mark Wahlberg as Sully in this film. But when I first watched it, I was just a bit like, oh, it's a bit ew. But I've grown a little bit of appreciation to Sully in the film, but he's still a bit, to me. I thought the story was simple. I thought it was seeing it on its own merits. I think it is a good adventure story. I mean, it's something that we've seen before, really. Oh, well, not exactly, obviously, but I mean, like adventure, like it's got Tomb Raider, of course, has that feel. It's not too complicated to understand. It's quite easy to follow. Well, for me, it is anyway. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have watched it agree. I'm not too sure what else to say. I need to get this out because Rusty is like, I shouldn't have mentioned the surprise so sooner because he's just begging me like, what's the surprise? Overall, I do think that this rewatch was better than watching it at first in the cinema. I don't want to go on too long for this video because I need to get this out and I don't want to edit too much of it, but yeah, I overall think it's better than my first watch in the cinema. Upon rewatch, there are things, of course, that I've said that I have grown to appreciate. That's probably things that I haven't even mentioned because they're not on the top of my head, but I definitely think it is better than what there was before. So I'm gonna say my ranking again. So my previous one was a 6 out of 10, 3 stars, and I haven't said stars yet, have I, for my new one? But my new one is 7 out of 10. Is it 3 or 4 stars? I don't know about 4. If we're basing it off its own merits, then yeah, I'd say a 4. But for if we're looking at yeah, why not? 4. 4 stars, 7 out of 10. Why not? So that's my new ranking. It has grown, which is cool. So yeah, my next video, I don't know what my next video is going to be, but I hope it's going to be the Steins Gate full review. I do need to rewatch Steins Gate. I haven't done that yet, Rusty. I'm sorry, but I've been on the beach. It's summer, so yeah. I'm going to go now, edit this, upload it, and then yeah. So better when I rewatched it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be Steins Gate. Bye.